Yeah, I'm making this video to help out some individuals, hopefully with the Maslow, figuring out the problem. I didn't get my sled made, and I lost connection from the USB. So I have my, this is a monitor I got to monitor my X10 signals. I can turn one on, and then I can turn one off here or whatever. But also up in the right-hand corner up here, to my upper right-hand corner, you can see N.01. What that does is measure the noise level on the AC grid. So I went ahead and hooked that up to my Maslow. I have a little power strip on the back of my Maslow, like many of you do. And so I measured the noise without anything plugged in, and then when I plugged in the vacuum cleaner, and then also when I plugged in the turned on the router then too, it made a big difference. And I have those videos coming up here too. But what I did on this sheet right here, I had some of these filters. And these are X10 filters, but what they do, they take the noise away from the line then too. I thought, hey, noise is noise. So on the screen here, this is what I have on the side here. This is this XPF filter here too. And anything electric motors or vacuum systems, all those things of course produce a lot of noise out there too. And so what I did, this is the top one I have here, and made it was pretty easy to install. I just put it into a case here. I actually had an empty case here too, and have another one of these filters, so I just wired it into that. There we go, picture of it here too. And of course I use the top configuration right here since I'm 120 here too. So I'm gonna, this is the video coming up next then too. I'll show you that right now. This is the non-filtered version. I plugged the monitor right into the power strip. I'm turning on the vacuum cleaner, and then I'm turning on the router, and you can see the numbers here rise 0.02, 0.03, not good, and the start code, the BSC, is actually trying to interpret it as an X10 signal, so there's a lot of noise when it's not filtered. Now I'm unplugging it, and I'm plugging the router and the vacuum cleaner into the filter system and re-shooting it here too. The whole time this monitor's been plugged right into the power strip. Well, that is unchanged. And the noise level went way down, 0.01, occasionally drifts to 0.02, but not to anything to 3. And it's not trying to interpret the extra noise as an X10 signal. So this has really cleaned it up a lot. I'm kind of happy how much this has reduced the noise on my AC line. Okay, the next thing I did, and you see at the screen there, I got these little ferrite chokes, they're called. Here's one right here. I'll get, if I can get it centered right here too. These things just clip on the cable, and I put this on the power cord of everything I had, from the vacuum cleaner to the router to the even to the power box or the filter box, including the little DC wall wart that powered my fans. And also I replaced the cable I got with this USB cable with the same one. This is a gold plated, but it also comes with these ferrite chokes built in here too. So now I'm going to redo the testing with all these ferrite cables in place, and we'll see if it makes a difference, because I still had 0.02 occasionally, so see if I can get a little bit better. Okay, this is running it with all the chokes and everything plugged into the filter. The only time it even goes above 0.01 is when the router, or there it was, that wasn't the router, it was just spinning up. Other than that, it stays pretty much just rock solid. Interesting enough, I'm still using X10 for my greenhouse, and right here at the end, actually an X10 signal comes through, and that greenhouse is probably, I don't know, 500 feet away from here. So there's the signal coming through that's valid too. So yes, I say this is even an improvement from just a filter. Okay, I did a couple of the modifications too. In fact, you can see the case here on this other side here. This is the 3D printed case, and I put it on GitHub, OTandAT, is the repository where it's at then too. But this allowed me to put fans on there, but also I needed something with these cables here. I need the cables that would not hit the heat sinks, and this really kind of kept them separate away from the heat sinks, but also kept them away from any of the cables. And here's my USB. This is the old USB, and this is not a picture of the one, but the new with the ferrite choke on here too. But I did route my USB cables down below here too, out of the way then too. So, and additionally, I've used a lot of these Arduino clones before. This is a Geek Crit from Banggood. I've never really used the Key Studio one here too. In fact, mine, I couldn't even communicate with it. I don't know if it's default or whatever here too. I'm actually running a new Surface Book too. But I had some megas around anyway, so I just plugged in the an original 2560 mega I had, and actually that worked extremely well. But I've had in this type now serial problems before with these things, that actually it would work sometimes, or it would lose some signals sometimes too. But again, that's not the same when you're getting from Maslow. So I'm unsure about that. But sometimes these clones of this type, the Geek Crit, I know have failed a little bit here too. So I know this XTBM monitor is still available. I just looked it up on Amazon actually. You can get the kit like I did, but you got to be pretty darn good with soldering in a real small spaces then too. But it's been pretty much invaluable there too. So I'm going to close it for the day. Before I publish this, I'm going to put it all back together tomorrow and actually run it and see if this made any changes then too. So anyway, later. Now, I think the question that many of you have is, what about just running it with just the chokes if you don't have a filter? So I went ahead and re-ran it again, and sure enough, you can see it bounces between 0.01 and 0.02 with just the chokes. So the chokes do help some, because it was 2 and 3 before, but really it looks like the best route to go to eliminate any of the noise is the chokes plus the filter. Of course, the real test here is having this run for a few months or years without having a signal drop. So we'll see. Well, that was a success. Here it is, hot off the Maslow. All my changes, never dropped a signal then too. I added one more too, as you can see by the picture here. I had an extra one of those ferrites there left over, so I put it on the router end because, well, hey, that's where the Z-axis cable comes. And I thought, well, might as well take care of it before it even goes anywhere too. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with my changes then too. I did make one other change over here. I actually added a diagonal. The 2x4s aren't very structural, I know that, and I probably could have measured the shear pressure left and right with the micrometer up there, but I'm not taking off the brace to redo it now. So, but you know, more stable equals more better. So anyway, I will repost in a couple months here after I get this thing and try it, make sure it has solved the problem then too. So, but right now I'm really happy with how well the noise has stopped, and hey, I got my first successful cut then too. So any questions, don't hesitate, and hope this helps somebody. Later.